Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video we're going to be continuing our Amazon Soap Fest. And on today I'm going to be testing and reviewing Surf City's Pacific Blue Wash and Wax. I've got to say, this is the most appealing packaging I've ever seen on a car soap. This just makes you want to wash your car. It's just a really nicely done package, really nicely done label. Like I've said before, I had never before heard of this car wash. Actually, one of the viewers to the channel suggested the Surf City car soap, and I checked it out. So it was on Amazon, so here it is. And it reads pretty much like all the other car soaps that we've done. Mix 1 ounce per gallon. It won't strip wax or sealant protection. It's super concentrated. This is supposed to be a wash and wax. So, you know, I don't know. It's a very viscous car soap. I have high hopes for it. It looks nice. If anything else, the packaging gets a 10. I mean, this is really nice. I almost don't want to open it. But anyway, as we've done before, we're going to be using our MTM submachine gun style foamer for the foam portion of the test. We'll be using 2 ounces of the Surf City to 10 ounces of warm water. Then we'll be switching to our bucket test, where we'll be checking out the foamage of the Surf City and seeing how it performs in a hand wash. Today is the 17th of February. It's 70 degrees outside. It's beautiful. There's a very slight breeze. This is probably normal spring weather for most of the country, not the middle of winter. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this test. The car's been through a couple rainstorms, so hopefully the Surf City is going to turn out to be our 10. I want a car wash to be a 10, please, somebody. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go out and see if this measures up. A little bit of sap on the car. Somebody commented on one of the videos that I'm destroying my paint because I'm touching it with my fingers. Look, first of all, this isn't a show car. This is a daily driver. And I guarantee you I am not scratching the paint when I rub my finger across it like that, okay? And you won't see any swirls or anything in this paint. No scratches. A couple door dings here and there. But the Adams paint sealant that's on here is pretty strong. And let me see, there's actually a chip. If the camera can pick that up, I can't tell on the screen, but there's a little rock chip right there. So. But no, there's no swirls or scratches other than the random chip. Anyway, I'm going to wet the car down, and then we'll go ahead and foam it up and see what this Surf City can do. All right, so I've got 2 ounces of our Surf City and 10 ounces of warm water. Let's see how this foams. All right, we have a little bit of wind as I'm doing this. This is a pretty thick foam when it comes out. It's comprised mostly of really dense small cell foam structure, and it's got some lubrication in the foam itself. It is running pretty quick though. That's kind of weird. I'm going to tell you guys now, it's not a very pleasant smelling soap. I can't figure out what it really smells like. It almost smells like hair perm. If you've smelled ladies' hair perm. Alright, so I'm going to let this sit for 6 minutes. We'll come back and see how much of the Surf City is left on the Honda. Alright, here we are back 6 minutes later, and the wind has picked up a little bit, which will affect our test results, but I'm going to say there's probably 70% left. It has thinned out a little bit on the hood and the windshield and top, and about 35 or 40% left on the side. Somebody did make a good point in one of my comments actually today, about the test results being varied depending on temperature and the season, basically, and that is true. If it were windy and the sun were out, it's possible that this whole side could be evaporated already. Obviously, if it was cold with no wind, it's going to show a little bit more. So we'll see what happens when we rinse this off. I want to see if it removes our Adams paint sealant protection. If it removes, I can see some residue here where it has dried. We'll see if that comes off with just the water pressure. And also, we'll see if it removed the bonded contaminants that were on the car. Alright, so here we are. We can see that it has not removed any of our protection from our Adams liquid paint sealant. There is no residue left from where it dried on the car earlier. I don't really feel any sap. Well, maybe just a few specks of sap. So I'm going to say it did a good job on the non-bonded contaminants. Alright, so I'm going to give this a 7.5. It did a good job. I mean, that's about all you can expect from this. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess the packaging is so nice. I was hoping this was going to be a 10, but some of the better cleaner, excuse me, cleaners will actually remove where I put my finger. That's kind of how I judge it. And it's not designed to do that, all right, because this is mostly bonded. But if it really, really works on the brake dust, then that's an exceptional cleaner. So it's a good solid 7.5. So let's get everything set up and we'll see how this performs in a hand wash. Okay, so as I said before, the packaging is phenomenal as far as just aesthetics. Now, what I don't like about this is the smell. I don't know what smell this is, other than it smells like perm, ladies' perm. So, I will say this is the most viscous car soap I have ever used. And I'm gonna say that this is really like Jello. Look at that. So I'm gonna have to dig my finger out, and it's just one blob. If you remember that stuff you used to play with as a kid called slime, that's kind of what it is like. But yeah, this is the most viscous car soap I've ever used. That's definitely takes the cake. So we're obviously using our same 3 ounces and 3 gallons of water here. I mean, that's just crazy. And you know, you would think this was like a berry scent or something, but I swear, I mean, it's weird. It's probably one of the worst smelling car soaps I've ever come across. But like I said before, I don't really care about the scent of the soap. I care how it performs. What I really want to see is some lubrication out of this water, because there was some lubrication in the foam. So I'm going to go ahead, and you see that stuff is just sitting as a clump at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get the pressure washer, and let's agitate this. I have had some people ask me why I don't put the soap in first and then add the water. And the reason is because when I'm using the pressure washer, there is so much force that by the time I got, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds into it, the soap blows out. So this is the foam is really not that dense. It's got a lot of medium bubbles, which you don't usually see, but I can feel just the foam feels like oiled water. That is really strange. And that the water, wow. If you guys saw my Chemical Guys review, the slickest car soap I've ever felt was Wonder Wash, and I gotta say, this is at least as slick as Wonder Wash. Alright, so that's a very, very good thing. It's got micro bubbles. I don't know if the camera is going to be able to pick it up, but it has fine micro bubbles, which you don't usually see in a car soap. And they are dissipating just because it's a little windy, but it's the slickness in the water that really is going to make this a wash that will minimize your scratches. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 4 wash mitts, set this up, and we're going to go ahead and wash the car and see how this performs in a hand wash. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you my final review of the Surf City Pacific Blue Wash and Wax. Look at that packaging. It's just nice. Okay, so as I said before, as a foam, I think it's a 7.5. And I'm going to say as a hand wash, this is a nice, solid 8.5 for the hand wash. And the reason, I believe, is because there is so much lubrication. There's just so much lubrication in that, and it's just phenomenal. So I'm going to basically say it rounds out as an 8 overall, but 7.5 on the foam, 8.5 in a hand wash. I am definitely going to use this again, for sure, at least in the hand wash. The only thing that they could really do to improve this is to get rid of that nasty smell. I mean, good gosh, I don't know if this is the way it's supposed to be, but it really is not pleasant. And I don't really care about the smell of a car soap until I smell this. It's just, it doesn't smell good. It smells like an old lady's perm. But I'm not going to let that detract me from using this again. And I certainly would tell you that this would be a fine addition to your car wash bucket for your maintenance wash. It's a good soap. It's a very good soap. So guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you would check the link in the description box below, I'll have a link to Amazon where I purchased this. You could pick you up 1 or 2 bottles and try it out for yourself. They do have another version. It's not the Pacific Blue, but it's, I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's basically just not as concentrated as that, but it's the same soap. So anyway, guys, I will see you on the next video.